Hello there, my name is Mahmoud Al-Yusuf. I help solve marketing challenges with the use of effective and useful video productions that help companies like yours thrive at a fair price and with the minimum disruption to your time. What I'm going to talk to you about in this particular lesson is how you might write a promotional video script in 5 steps. This course is designed for corporate communications professionals, but anybody else can also benefit from its contents. You don't have to have a background in video production or film production in order for you to benefit from this course, although some experience will be beneficial. Once you've completed this course, you will be able to write your own scripts for your company, products, or services with the 5 steps I'm going to outline in this particular lesson. Scripts are extremely important for video production. They offer the blueprint that you need to follow in order for you to have a successful completion of your project. What you need in order to write a script is nothing more than a pen and paper, basically. But obviously, there are quite a number of applications out there that will help you tremendously in writing a script. However, please keep in mind that these applications are provided for video production or film production professionals who have had the experience in writing multiple scripts. Why I say that is because some of these programs and applications are quite rigid and they direct the writer into a channel that might feel quite complex. However, the basic thing is that they are just word processing programs that offer formatting for each sentence and paragraph. Scripts have a certain look. They are formatted in a very specific way, and I think they are quite rigid, although that's not a bad thing. Because if you pick up a script and look down at the page, you will immediately know, just with the formatting, what is happening on that page. These formats are called lines in the industry. Typically, a script starts with a scene heading or a slug line. That is normally followed by action, which describes what is happening on the screen. And then it's the character. That is followed by what is called a parenthetical, which is an instruction to the character to perform on camera. And then it is dialogue, and then it's all followed, and dialogue is followed by transition. As far as this lesson is concerned, we don't need to concern ourselves with any of that, because what we intend to do is provide or produce a promotional video, a short promotional video for a company, a product, or a service. Yes, you can take advantage of the various applications that are available, but I suggest that these might be a bit too complex too soon at this particular stage. What you need to do is just use a normal word processor in order for you to write your script, and then if we need to break that down into the various other elements, then I'm sure we'll be able to cover that. Most of these productions that I'm talking about will be short necessarily, maybe about 3 minutes to 7 minutes, and they are specific to business communications and marketing. I'm not suggesting that business communications and marketing is too simple and we don't need to spend too much time on. And of course, I'm not belittling business videos or marketing videos. On the contrary, I want to provide you with practical experience on how to write this script based on my own experience of over 15 years in the industry. Here are the 5 steps that I usually use for writing a script quickly and efficiently. The very first thing that I would do is actually write a concept. What are we trying to show or do in this video? Once you've put that concept in place, please stop, take a breath, and think how we're going to execute this. What is the best way of actually doing this? In order for us to get this done properly and efficiently, we need to know quite a number of things before we delve into actually expanding that particular script. What I mean by that is that we need to know specifically who the audience is. Understanding who the audience is going to allow us to think of the style and the theme of the film. Other than the audience, we also need to know practical things like what platform are we going to use to broadcast our film? Is this film going to be on a television screen in the reception area of our company? Is it going to be uploaded to YouTube, to Instagram, to Facebook, to LinkedIn, to Twitter? All of these have very specific requirements as far as the format, the aspect ratio, and the resolution of the film in order for them to be efficiently uploaded and broadcast from those particular channels. And also, ultimately, how are we going to measure the success of our efforts? All of these elements are included in a creative brief. I go into the creative brief and explain every element in there and give you practical examples based from my recent productions and my current customers and my practical video production course. You might want to have a look at that. Once the creative brief is done, now that we have the framework in place, we can go ahead and expand on that concept and create a full-blown script that will create a blueprint for us to film for. Once the creative brief is filled, that provides us with the context of how the film is going to be presented. Now that the creative brief is done, and we thought strategically about how we're going to create our video, let's go into what is included in the actual script. How I like to write my scripts for promotional videos is offer the most important information first, and then offer an explanation or offer supporting evidence in the middle, and end it with a call to action. That is basically, briefly, how that whole package is. In order for our film to be successful, we need to grab the attention of the viewer quickly. We only have a few seconds, literally, to grab the attention of our viewer before that viewer flicks through or naturally our film goes below the horizon. So grabbing the attention is extremely important. How I do that normally is ask a question. I find this method quite powerful because the human brain naturally would want to solve a problem, would answer a question. Opening with a question or an anecdote or even a controversial statement is going to grab that attention. But be careful, because what we're asking must be in the same context of what we're trying to show. Once the problem or the question has been posed, I then frame my product or my service as a solution to that particular problem. This is the answer that people are looking for, obviously. And then I provide 3 to 5 key points to convince them that this is the actual answer. This is the bulk of the film, so you're going to spend quite some time in order for you to actually make it interesting and convincing as well. One thing that I also do in this particular segment is offer social proof. This is a very powerful method in order for people to believe you, and authenticity is everything in this section, obviously. Here you would bring in your customers who are using your product or service and allow them to provide you with a testimonial on screen of how that has changed their life, how has that improved their life, how have they used it in their daily life. After the social proof, I normally would provide a call to action, asking the viewer to do something. This is the process that I adopt for writing quick promotional videos. These are the 5 points that I consider when writing a quick promotional or a business or marketing video. And if you found this useful, please share this lesson with your friends and colleagues. They might benefit from it too. Thank you very much for watching, and make it a great day.